It's tough to say, isn't it? Ugh. Failures. I failed. Amazing day. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Andrea, and on this channel we talk about all things related to mature living for the woman over 50. And if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be doing a new year reset. And so this video is going to be a little bit different, of course, than our normal reflections because it's a new year. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my December reflections, my failures and successes of 2024, and then I'm going to talk about my New Year's goals and focus for the year of 2025. So let's get started. If you've been around for a moment, you know that each month I reflect on the previous month with some favorites and things of that nature. So I'm going to talk about that here on today. Know that I am quite late to doing this reflection, but better late than never. The first half of January has been a whirlwind, and so I'm almost catching my breath. Almost catching my breath. If you guys have been following, you know I've been doing a lot this month. But nevertheless, let's just jump on into it. I have my notes here, and I want to share with you what the month of December looked like for me as a whole. Let's start with movies. What was my favorite movie or movie that I saw for the month of December? And that was Mufasa, which is the sequel, if you will, to the Lion King movie. And it was a lot of fun. I am a fan of the Lion King, and I'm not a fan of many child movies or animated movies. Let me be very clear. I watch them with my kids, and there were only a couple that I really enjoyed. Lion King was one, and Toy Story was another one. And there were a couple more, but those were my favorite kids movies. But I did get to see the sequel, Mufasa. It came out, I believe, around December 21st or something, but I was in Miami and I had an opportunity to see it while I was in Miami. Enjoyed it. It wasn't what I thought, and I think I talked about that before. However, it was enjoyable. The next thing on my list is shows. So of course, shows can be anything that I've attended or saw that I really enjoyed in the month of December. And for shows, it was for New Year's Eve. My guy and I went to a comedy club in Virginia Beach, and we saw the comedian Coco Brown and her opening act. I can't remember his name. We had dinner and the whole thing, and that was a lot of fun. Always nice to get dressed up and go out for the evening and have dinner and just have some good old belly-wrenching laughs. And so I just really enjoyed that. So that was my favorite show of the month. I think that was my only show, if you will, for the month of December. Now next, let's talk about food and or drink. So for food, my favorite food for the month of December was fried mac and cheese at a restaurant in Miami called House of Mac. I'll post a picture somewhere, but let me tell you, I think I may have posted before, but these were so good. They were fried mac and cheese. Like, who doesn't like mac and cheese? And let alone it was fried. And in these little like meatball size bites that were absolutely delicious, and they were filling. And you guys know I'm a vegetarian, so not vegan, vegetarian, so I do eat cheese, but they were great. And they were great. I had a lot of different food, but that was different, and I really enjoyed that. And House of Mac is in Miami, Florida, and that restaurant is small. However, it is featured in Travel and Leisure, on multiple cooking shows and interviews and things of that nature. So House of Mac, Miami, Florida, and I enjoyed their fried mac and cheese. Next on my list was book read. Now listen, we still didn't finish our book. We all got sidetracked from my mom's injury, and we're still reading Love Song of Ricky Wow, I think is the name of it. I should know. I'm listening to it when I walk, but so I didn't complete any books in the month of December. Do I read a lot? Yes, I read a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, a little of that. Trust me, I am reading all the time. However, I did not complete not one book for the month of December. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Now, for travel for the month of December, I went to Connecticut twice. So I went when my mom had her injury and fell, and then I doubled back about a week later. So I went to Connecticut twice, and then of course, you guys have been following me. I went to Miami for my birthday / Christmas. So I spent 6 days in Miami, Florida. Amazing time. Just an amazing time. I thought the weather would be a little bit warmer, but it was still very nice, sunny. We hit, I think it rained like a little shower one day when we were down at South Beach, but I had such a fabulous, fabulous time and a much needed vacation. I mean, I always need a vacation. I'm always trying to get away, but that was much needed, much needed. And I had a very, very enjoyable time. Next are memorable moments for the month of December. So of course, my, let's go backwards a little bit. So my grandson had his Christmas program obviously in December, and it was before I went on my trip. Well, no, was it before I went on my trip? Yeah, it was before I went on my trip to Miami. But and just seeing him grow from year to year on the stage, singing with his classmates and all of that stuff is just a memorable moment for me. And then, of course, a memorable moment was my birthday / Christmas in Miami, as I just mentioned. Now, what did I learn in the month of December? You've heard this before, but I learned it because it was applicable to when my mom fell and had to run up to Connecticut. Matter of fact, I had to run up there back twice, within a week almost, or within 2 weeks, so I had to go back to back. The saying or the quote, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because challenges will come, unexpected things are going to come. And I am thankful that I was in a position, not only like at work, in my workplace, PTO, and financially to be able to go up there for a week and do what I needed to do and turn back around and go and that kind of thing. So, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Preparation is key. Preparation is key for life in general. When we think about spiritually even, right? When we have a consistent relationship with God and we're praying and we're talking and we're studying the word and we put the word into our hearts over time, when things go awry or we have a challenge in our life, because life will bring us challenges, we can draw from that well. We can communicate with God. It's not a foreign thing to us. And so that's even another example of staying ready so we don't have to get ready, whether that is physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, like managing our emotions, and even socially. Sometimes we're called to do things that we're not prepared for, maybe to speak or to meet people or to greet people. Even at this old age, it's important to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That was the number one lesson that I learned in the month of December. There you have my December reflections from the month of December 2024. And now I'm going to move into sort of a quick review of not all, I don't share all of my goals here online, but some of my goals where from the year of 2024, some successes and some failures. And I think this is important to assess from y'all been around for a minute. I started this YouTube channel, I think in February or whatever, but I'm just a big proponent of self-assessment and self-awareness. As a life coach, it's what I do with others, but I also do with myself. How can I monitor from year to year if I'm getting better in any area of my life if I'm not checking in with myself? I'm not checking in where I am spiritually, physically, socially. How am I maintaining relationships, friendships, family ties, right? What am I doing on my job? Am I doing anything to progress and get better? Am I showing up for work on time, or whatever the situation may be? It is important to assess. And so I take a moment really quickly to look at the sort of wins and losses, failures or successes from the year of 2024. So let's start with failures. It's tough to say, isn't it? Ugh. Failures. I failed physically. Now, I'll get to successes, but from a physical perspective, for me, I did not keep up my workouts. I tagged on a little bit of weight, and I feel that I just did not keep up with what I had planned to do at the top of the year. And I failed in my workouts. Now, if you remember, I was diagnosed with frozen shoulder around March or April. And what happened was, and I'm not saying this is really no excuse, but for me, this is what I ended up doing. I really had no idea that physical therapy was going to take that long. I went to physical therapy all the way into, I feel like, September or October, and then I quit on my own. And I'm not saying that's good. I'm not advising that. I'm a medical healthcare professional, but I just quit. I just got tired of going. I had a lot of progress, and I probably should have just told my physical therapist. But life was lifing, and child, I just stopped going. That's that. But I had no idea it was going to take that long. Like April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Too much. Anyway, I failed at the workouts, failed at physically with my physical fitness goals. Boom. Next, I already said I gained some weight. Weight that superseded my personal weight limit. So my personal weight limit that I've always set for myself is 150. I weighed in earlier this week, because y'all gonna follow me as I shed some pounds. I weighed in at 156.8. So at a minimum, I need to lose 7 pounds to stay under my 150. That is my own personal space, right? And ideally, I want to be around 145, 148. I don't want to lose a whole lot of weight and be all, super slim, but I want to work out, keep toning up my body, but I got to come under that 150. And that's for me. It gives me room to eat out and do things, but, work out. But right now, I can't do anything. Tough out here in these over 55 streets, okay? But we're going to make it happen. The next thing is yard work. I have a huge backyard that has 22 trees, and I did not attend to that this year. I didn't. Right? And though Troy has a home improvement / lawn care business, we did not focus on this backyard. Now, my backyard, I will say, has 22 trees, it grows, all of that stuff, but it does not impede on anyone else's yard or anything like that aesthetically. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. So I'm no nuisance to any neighbors or anything. There's a fence all around, but I need to handle that, and that's going to be on the list for 2025. But I did not do the things I wanted to do in my backyard to kind of just get it straightened out and upkeep and all the things in my yard work. The next thing that I felt that I failed at was YouTube consistency. Because I started in February, and then for the summer, I just sort of stopped, right? I was doing all the things. Daughter was home. It was just a different space. So I just kind of tapped out a little bit, tapped back in, and haven't been consistent. So one of the, we'll talk about my goals, but I feel I could have done better in terms of consistency for YouTube. Okay. The next is reading goals. I only read 6 books And that was with my nieces. We read 6 books. No, I read more than 6 books. Okay, I don't have a count. I read more. I read 6 books with the book club. Financial coach. I probably read maybe 3 or 4 more books, but nowhere near, let me just say that, what I desired to read for the year of 2024. I put my eyes on a lot of different things as a life coach, because this is what I do. I'm always reading self-help. So I may be reading like 4 pages from this book, 3 pages from that book, thinking about a topic, helping out a client. So I'm always reading, but I want to be more diligent in reading entire books, right? Just my personal goal, right? So I feel like in terms of my reading goals, I failed. Now, I'm telling y'all, every time I say I'm failed, it just hurt. It's a gut punch. But the reality is we have to, the first key to improvement is admission, right? We have to admit so that we can change. And so I'm coming on here on the internet, shouting out my failures of 2025, okay? And then lastly, from a business perspective, I did not complete my book. I am working on a revision of my very first book, which is Suddenly Single, and I'm in the process of revising it, but I did not complete it by the end of the year, and that was one of my goals. As I said earlier, December was a whirlwind. Like when my mom fell, I think it was on December 3rd or 4th. We're up in Connecticut for almost a week, and then I come back, and then I go to work, and then I went back, and then I went to Miami. So I did not get an opportunity to finish it, but of course, we're going to push that forward, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, on to successes. Listen, self-care. I am proud of myself, and I'm even going to level up, but I took care of myself spiritually. When I say physically, yeah, I didn't meet my workout goals, but I took care of myself, my skin, had a skincare program. I rested when I needed to rest. I set boundaries in my life with individuals, people, kids, friends, all those things. Some of the dating situations I had earlier part of the year, right? So I think I did really, really good in that. And it is a good space to be in, because I didn't always put myself first. And so we're even vamping it up for 25, because I am my most valuable asset, and so are you. And we're no good to others if we don't take care of ourselves. Now, how I look at taking care of myself may be very different than what you need in terms of self-care. Okay? But I feel really good about that space in my life, and I call that success. Next, I made more time with friends and community. So I had more lunch dates with girlfriends. Of course, I went to Minnesota with some friends, and I went to a women's retreat in March, and just embrace community and friendships, lunches with girlfriends, coffee dates with girlfriends, because it's so important. And I personally have to intentionally do that because I'm a natural introvert. I know y'all don't think so, but I am. I could be right here by myself all day, every day, reading books, doing whatever, piddling around, going to Chick-fil-A, taking the trip by myself, eating out dinner by myself. Like, I can. But I also know that as women, we need community. We need friendships. They add to our lives. And so I've been very intentional in 2024 about that, and I deem it a success for myself. The next thing is I did more travel. Baby! We got in the air 3 times, and I travel all the time, okay? So here and there, but this year they were bigger trips, longer trips, and farther trips, okay? So I went to Minnesota. You guys follow me. You saw that here on the blog. If you're new to the channel, go back and flip through, right? These are the bigger trips. I went to Minnesota for several days. My girlfriend was out there, and I went to like a women's conference there with some of my girlfriends. And so that was beautiful. Had a wonderful time. I went to LA. my girlfriend Bianca, she had a program out there on Friday and Saturday, but I also just had some vacation time out there, shopped and did all the things, saw all of LA, everything. LA, God, it was beautiful. Food was good, travel was good, zoo, all the things. And then topped it off with a big trip to Miami in December. I already talked about that. Me also, in addition, I did go to Virginia Beach. I went to Charlotte and I went to Connecticut. And I think that was, of course, I went to Connecticut multiple times, but I think that is, the gist of my travel, but definitely up my travel game. So I got my passport in 2024. Success, because baby, we're going somewhere out the country at some point in 2025. And I had applied for a passport back during COVID, and you know how everything was backed up, so it took months for them to contact me and tell me that my birth certificate that I submitted was not the birth certificate that they wanted, with a seal and all the things. So I had to wait to go to Connecticut. No, I didn't go to Connecticut and I contacted the Department of Vital Statistics and got a new birth certificate with the seal that they were looking for. And so, that was, I just did that last year, I think, and then 2023, I think, is when I got the birth certificate, and I finally applied and got my passport in 24. So, baby, in 2025, we got to get somewhere out the country. Somewhere out the country. Another success was income. I really topped off on my income this year. God is good. God is faithful. I have several streams of income, and financially went well. It went really, really well, and I am extremely grateful for it. The next success I did was start this YouTube channel. Even though I wasn't consistent here, I wanted to start this YouTube channel just as a hobby, to come and just share my life with you. Now, I have another YouTube channel that I have some divorce coaching things there. I'm not consistent over there, but I wanted to start this channel because I wanted to shift, and we'll talk about that a little bit. I may be still adding things over on my divorce channel as I shift the focus of my business for 2025, but that's another thing we're going to focus on here. I did start this channel, and starting is the key, because let me tell you something. And I do what I coach. I try to implement what I coach, right? And I also assess myself the way I assess with my clients. And a lot of times we want everything perfect. We want everything perfect before we start, and we'll wait and wait and wait and wait. I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have the right lighting, I don't have the camera, I don't have this. Sometimes you gotta just get started. And even in this short period of time, with, I don't know how many uploads or videos that I currently have right now, but I do have 50, at this taping I have 52 followers. Thank you guys for subscribers. I appreciate it. And that's an accomplishment, right? Anything is an accomplishment. I wasn't consistent, but thank God for you guys who still stuck with me. Bear with me through some of my technical errors. I'm learning on the go, and it's a hobby, right? I have a whole 9-to-5 job. I have a whole business of coaching. I'm also an author, and I do some other things as well. I have other streams of income. So this is a hobby for me, but it's fun, right? And I'm learning and sharing with you guys just some information I think is needed for us empty nester women over 50. So I wanted to create this space. So I deem this a success. With all, the failures and the challenges of doing this YouTube channel, I still deem it as a success. Another success that was good is I purchased a new vehicle in July. So midway through the year, I have been talking about an SUV for a couple of years, and so I finally bit the bullet, and God just opened the doors, and boom. So I got a Cadillac XT4 SUV, and I love it. I love all my cars. Previous car, I spent a lot of time in the car. So when y'all see me in the car, just know I just enjoy being in the car. I don't know what it is. My kids are the same way. We talk about that and laugh about it now, but something about the car, I don't know. Next thing, my dating and how I approached dating this year, I deemed as a success. I started off the year, I want y'all to listen up. I'm not sure if I said this before, but let me just do a little recap. So in 23, I did do some dating. I dated a guy for maybe 3 or 4 months and we broke up. And I just decided to focus on myself. Okay, no relationships, talked to a couple guys, whatever, but I went into like a no dating situation. No dating. I would talk to a couple of friends here and there, but I wasn't going out on dates. And then at the top of the 2024, I decided for 90 days, not to entertain any male energy. And you may say, Andrea, why do you do that? I did that for myself. Now, I also had therapy in 2023 and the top of 24 as well. But I did that so I can just get a chance to see what's going on with me. Like, am I yearning just to talk to somebody because I wanted to feel needed, wanted to feel wanted, or I just had to assess, right? And that was the best 90 days because when I came out of those 90 days, right around March, April, and started dating again, I've had the best time. The best time. Y'all heard me talk about Mr. New York. We just weren't compatible for various reasons, but we had a blast. And I met and went on a couple other dates. And now the person I'm seeing now, we met about 7 months ago. Okay, so I feel that the dating arena for me for 2024 was successful. My approach, my results, and and even when Mr. New York and I did not work out, it was amicable. It was good. I felt good about it. There wasn't any, any shystiness. It was just good. And so I feel that, my dating space, if you will, for 2024, as a single woman of 55, 56, was a success. And last but not least, I launched I Coach Apparel. I've had a apparel site for a while, but I really launched it this year and uploaded several different pieces of apparel. You can go to AndreaMStuckey.com and you'll hit the about on the right. Hit the tab, I Coach Apparel, and you'll see that site. So that's another stream of income that I have, and I started that off last year in 2024. I'm gonna put a ton of more energy and products on that site for 2025. So those are the highlights of failure and successful. Of course, there are some things that are personal to me that I'm not sharing with y'all, okay? But I just wanted to kind of give you some highlights of some of what I deem as failures that I could have done much better, but there are always successes. And I think this is important so that we can be grateful for the things that were great, right? And look to improve the areas where we fell short. So there you have it, my 2024 failures and successes. Okay, so now I'm just going to give you the highlights because there's lots of details to these different categories of goals that I set for myself. But these are the ones that I'm willing to share with you in various categories, okay? So for 2025, first of all, I want you to know that my focus word for the year of 2025 is stewardship. The Lord dropped that word in my spirit around November. Now, some people pick a word. I usually just try to really listen in my prayer time and devotional time because for the year of 2024, my word was upgrade, okay? And so for the year of 2025, the word is stewardship. And let me just share with you information surrounding that word, okay? So the scripture is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10, and it says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Stewardship. Stewardship is the act of managing or caring for something with responsibility and care. It can refer to the management of natural resources, finances, or an organization, i.e. business, right? Stewardship can also refer to a Christian giving platform that allows individuals and organizations to donate to causes they care about. Okay? Some principles of stewardship include, take note of this, principles of stewardship: ownership, responsibility, accountability, and reward. Let me say this again. God is so good. I get excited when I talk about how he dropped his word on me. And then when I research and I get what he's saying to me in my life. Some principles of stewardship include ownership, responsibility, accountability. I'm big on accountability, and we'll talk about that another time, and reward. So I'm really excited. That's the word that God gave me for the year of 2025. It's all about stewardship. Now let's take a look at the 5 areas of life that I break my goals down into when I'm planning for the year, right? And those 5 areas, and it's something I even work with my clients in, is physical, emotional, social, occupational or business, right? Your career or business, and finances. Okay, so here's what I'm willing to share with you. So on the physical note, my couple goals are: I want to increase my vitamin D levels because they are low. I want to lose 8 or 10 pounds. We talked about that in this video already. And I want to increase, no, not increase. We're doing monthly massages. We're increasing facials at least 1 a quarter. And I'm continuing to do, I get my mani and pedis once or twice a month. Sometimes it runs 2 weeks, sometimes it runs 3 weeks, it just depends. But we're the physical self-care, we're keeping it up. And I will share this too, I did not write this down, but I want to get my eyebrows tinted or microbladed. So I'm looking into that now because y'all, your girl has no eyebrows. And this putting these eyebrows on every day is too much. Sparse, it's just too much. Let me write that down, I forgot. So yes, I've been looking into which one I want to do. I think tint lasts a couple of weeks, microblading lasts longer, but when I'm doing research, it looks like it hurts and then it scabs over and there's like a healing process, and I don't know if I'm about that life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if when I was an entrepreneur and I was home all the time, or majority of the time, except for 2 days a week, and I worked at night, I probably would do it. But I'm in the public eye every day at work, or every other day. Well, my schedule's changing, so it's gonna be every day pretty much. I'm not having scabbed over eyebrows. I don't know. I have to do some more research, but let's add that to physical. But I do want to do that for myself. Either add tinting to my self-care regime. Is that right? I don't know. We'll figure it out. To my self-care process, right? And or microblading. I know microblading lasts for years, but we'll see. I have a girlfriend that had hers done, and she recommended someone. But as I'm doing my own research, that whole scabbing over thing looks ugly before it looks good. I don't know if I want to go through that. All right, next let's move on to emotional category, and I've talked about this before. As a life coach, a certified life coach, over the course of many years, I've had my own personal coaches for different things. And so I am getting back into communication with my personal coach. And then I'm also going to check in to therapy just to check in, because life is changing. And I need a place to right? I need to make sure that I'm emotionally well. My mom is aging and she has a lot of things going on that can be very, very stressful. I'm in a relationship, have a new person in my life. And so having a safe space to sort of discuss those things, or challenges or good times or whatever, I need that. And then as I restructure my business, I need that help from my coach. And my coach is sort of business / spiritual coach as well. And then of course therapist. So those are emotionally what I'm doing. And then I already said that. Yep. So I can stay regulated with the life changes, empty nester, adult kids, aging parent slash, not sick, but you understand what I'm saying? Like those are different spaces that you're in, responsibilities and all those things. And so I want a space where I can get some good feedback and make sure that I am managing those changes correctly. And to me, there's no price that's too much for me. Like it's just not. It's just not. So we'll talk about that another day. Socially. So socially, we're going to travel more. We already talked about that. International travel. Plan to do maybe 2 or 3 trips this year. One has to be international. I have a couple of domestic areas that I want to visit. I have on my list. And so we'll see what God has for me with that. I want to continue to deepen all of my relationships, my friendships. I want to expand my territory, meet more people, and all the relationships that I have, even romantic. I want to deepen them and be the best person that I can be. I'm nowhere near perfect. I got a lot of work still to do, and I want to just be better in that space. And I do want to attend at least one conference or retreat this year. I haven't been to a business conference pre-COVID. 2019 was my last business conference, I think, in Las Vegas. And I actually held my own retreat. It was either in 20 or 21. I had 2 retreats in Atlanta, but I want to attend someone else's retreat or business conference this year. Now, from a career perspective, business perspective, occupational perspective, I have a couple things down that I'll share with you. So I have to have some continuing education things I need to do for my license as a radiographer. So I'll be working on that all year. I did like continuing education credits last year, but this is like a different program. They got an assessment. They give these classes or whatever you gotta do. So I have to work on that this year, and that has to be done by the end of November. In addition, I will be completing my 7th book that I mentioned before, possibly writing an 8th book, but definitely completing my 7th book, which will be the revision of Suddenly Single, 2nd edition revision. It's going to be the 9th anniversary of it. So that'll be coming out, Lord's will, in February. We'll be doing a promo for that. If you follow me on any other social media platforms, you'll see that. And lastly, restructure my business. I talked about that. The past couple years, I've continued to coach people and do some things business-wise. I was the administrator for my girlfriend's not-for-profit organization, Women Ablaze. You guys saw some of that stuff here. I resigned this summer. So now I'm going to be shifting my focus more back into my space in business, but restructuring it because now I work full-time, whereas I wasn't prior to 2023. Make sense? So because you guys hear me talking about mental health, and burnout for entrepreneurs is real. So I want to make sure that I am operating in the space from a business perspective of things that I love, that I can delegate what needs to be delegated, and I can be happy and happy as I walk in my purpose, right, and help others. And I absolutely love what I do as a life coach and an author. My spiritual gifts are a teacher, and I have a prophetic gift as well. So we just want to be in the right space there. Okay. And then lastly, financially, I have a savings goal. I'm not going to share here. A savings goal. I want to purchase a certain number of stocks. I won't share how many and what my strategy is, but I'm going to be purchasing more investments in stocks. And then by year's end, it is my desire to buy a new home. Last quarter of the year. So we've got lofty goals. This is highlights that I'm willing to share. I have other things that I'm not willing to share, right? And all the little things in between. And I believe that, it's so important. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. How do you know what you're going to do if you don't write it and hold yourself accountable, or you have a reference? Oftentimes you get really, really excited at the end of the year and we have all these lofty goals, but we're not revisiting the goals, or we're not doing things that are going to help us reach the goal, right? So if I have a financial goal by a certain period of time, I need to break that down per month, right? What do I need to be saving in order to reach that goal? right? Do I need to make additional money? What do I need to do to buy a house? What are the things I need to do to prepare to buy a new home? Right? So all these things, you can just write it down and go looking at houses and not doing anything, but no, it's a process, right? So I'm just using those as example. Same thing with losing weight, or just being health, your health and wellness journey, whatever that is. But I think it's very, very important to write your goals down and to visit them. Now, if you're not a paper girl like me, because I'm a planner, like paper planner, notebook, journal kind of girl, then do your digital stuff. But listen, we still got a lot more life to live. And I hope that you desire more for yourself. Whether you're 50, 60, or 70, or 40, over 40, there's so much more life to live, right? And I feel like when we take one step, God will take the next step. But sometimes we're just afraid to take a step, or to dream bigger and better, or to do and meet, like to challenge ourselves, right? And I love a challenge. Like right now, because I knew that running up and down the road, I knew all was going on in January. I wasn't going to be able to focus on shifting in terms of health and wellness. But baby, I'm locked in all week. Like I walk by the candy dish at work 2-3 times. It is this candy dish. And if y'all know me, I love chocolate. I don't know if I ever said it here. If y'all watching and y'all know me personally, your girl love chocolate. Okay, and every day at work, I'm getting a couple of maybe Milky Ways, the little trial sizes, crack roll or Hershey, something like that. All week, I have not touched a one. Will I give myself some type of treat this weekend? I will, right? But I'm locked in because we got to come down. So that's just me personally. So I just wanted to come and share with you the highlights. 2025 is here, and the best is still yet to come. Don't let anyone discourage you to make you think you're too old to start anything new. Try something new, do something new, shift your life, meet new people, start a business, write a book, have a whole new career. Whatever it is that you want, you can do it. You can do it. There is so much more life to live, and also just live. Enjoy every moment. Don't fret about the past, and don't worry about the future. Enjoy the present. Yes, we have to plan for the future. Don't get me wrong. We have to make certain provisions, but don't get caught up in it. Don't get caught up in the past. What's done is done. The future, we cannot control either, right? But we do have today, and focus on that. Focus on the people, places, and things that you love and who love you back. That is so, so important. So there you have it. New Year's 2025 reset. Thank you so much for joining today. Listen, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. We have subscriber goals. I didn't share that. Maybe I'll share it in another video. We got subscriber goals. We got YouTube goals. So like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to interact with you in the comment section. So please, please let me know. Where are you? Are you over 50? Are you single? Are you married? Are you divorced? You have kids? Are you an empty nester? Or are you just kind of hanging out here and like what you see? Whatever it is, I'd love to engage with you in the comment section. So listen, have a wonderful and blessed day. May God bless you throughout this year. Remember what I said, it is never too late, never too late, never too late. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Mwah!